So, if you've seen Infinity War, you will know there is a lot of emotional moments, a lot of epic moments, a lot of moments. Well, in today's video, me and this little boy right here are going to be talking about the top 5 most emotional moments in Infinity War with some honorable mentions.
Yes.
Now, an emotional moment.
It doesn't have to be just sad. It could be also like a scene where you're nervous, where you're excited, where you just like filled with happiness. But most of the scenes in here are probably sad or anxious, though.
Yeah, so we're going to go over each one's list. We're going to start with his list and then my list. And we're going to compare, I don't think we're actually going to compare each other, but you'll see which one you agree with more. So we'll start off with his.
So for mine, I have 2 honorable mentions right now. So the first one is the Asgardian ship. So basically, in that scene, you're really nervous because you don't know how the movie's really gonna start, like how it'll end up going on, and that scene, you see Loki and Heimdall both die.
That is unfortunate.
But the reason that I put it as and you see Hulk get beaten by Thanos so easily, like Thanos is barely trying, it looks like.
Yeah.
And Hulk, that scares Hulk so much that he's like not coming out for the rest of the movie.
Well,
too.
I heard the director say that they view it as like Hulk is tired of being like Banner's fighting weapon, kind of. That's what the director viewed it at, kind of. Not as scared.
Well, I think that the reason that he's tired of that though is because he's scared, which is why he didn't like do that before ever.
Maybe. So what's your next honorable mention?
I'd say the next honorable mention is Thor and Nidavellir, because it was a really tense moment with like Thor like almost dying basically, if not for the creation of Nidavellir and Groot's help with the handle.
You mean Stormbreaker, not Nidavellir, right?
Yeah, Stormbreaker.
Yeah. Don't worry.
And then Thor like eventually has to get back to Wakanda, and that scene's like really exciting and stuff when he gets to Wakanda.
Yeah, it's like just like incredible. Like I'll admit that's like the most epic moment in the movie when he just comes to Wakanda. It's like boom, get roasted, everyone.
Yeah.
And then he like implants. Well, he doesn't implant. He like hits Stormbreaker on the ground. Like all the Outlanders riders just like fall to the ground.
Yeah, basically. Okay, so for my 5th,
we are now on the list. Insert dramatic number 5.
Yeah, so then for that, mine is the scene or the title screen. Like the first one after Bruce Banner warns Doctor Strange and Wong about the incoming invasion of Thanos, basically, and how he wants the stones to wipe out half the universe.
The title screen.
Yeah, the title screen. And then, like, you're filled with excitement and nervousness about how it'll go out or turn out and things like that.
Yeah.
And then my 4th point is the scene in Nowhere where Gamora wants Peter, aka Star-Lord, to kill her after just finding out that she didn't, like, she thinks that she killed Thanos, and then she actually cries because she did care for him, but then finding out that she didn't actually do it, which kind of, like, would be pretty angering for her, probably.
Yeah, that is an emotional scene because she kills her father, and it's like, okay, she doesn't care, but then when he's, like, on the ground and dying, it's like, wait, she's actually crying? She actually cares somehow? Like, okay. Yeah. And then Star-Lord has to, like, kill her.
Basically, but then, like,
it turns to Bubbles, and people are like, that's a funny scene. I'm like, no. He tried killing her. Like, and the Bubbles was just a dramatic effect.
Mm-hmm.
Some could say an emotional effect.
Yeah. And then my 3rd point is Spider-Man's death. A lot of people think that this would be, like, the first, like, the most emotional scene, like, the saddest scene in the whole MCU.
It was pretty emotional.
Yeah,
you cannot
it was
lie.
pretty sad. But, like, it could have been more sad, I'd say, if they added more music.
Sadder.
Or, yeah. If they added more music or put it, like, done something else. I am pretty impressed, though, that whole scene was improvised. And yeah.
Yeah.
But like the next two scenes that I'm gonna do are, in my opinion, more emotional. So
Really?
Yeah. So my second scene is Vision's death.
Which one?
Both of them, I guess.
Both of them?
Yeah.
I'd say the first one.
Yeah, the first one is probably more sad though, because Scarlet Witch is like, she has like one more person in the world that she cares about like a lot, Vision, and then she's the only person that we know of who can destroy any of the stones, and I'm pretty sure she can only destroy the Mind Stone though, but she's already lost her brother and both of her parents, so now she has to kill the person that she loves, and then Vision has to be killed by the person that he loves. And it's really sad. And then after she does kill him, Thanos has to bring Vision back, obviously, to get the Mind Stone. And then he does it in front of Scarlet Witch. And yeah, in my opinion, it's just really sad. Then, the number one...
Well, hold on. You probably have guessed it because you'll know, like, that's a sad moment.
Yeah.
That everyone knows. And if not, then you're probably thinking of something else, which would be weird because we should have that on the list. But anyways, number one is drum roll, please. You probably can hear that.
Gamora's death scene. And while, like, this was a really sad scene because Thanos needed to get one more, or, like, another Infinity Stone, which was a Soul Stone. Then Red Skull, basically, who's guarding the stone, told him, you have to sacrifice something that you love. Then Gamora was like, okay, I don't, like, you can't get the stone, so it's good, because you don't love anything. Then Red Skull's just like, oh, he does love you, like, yeah.
The tears aren't for him, or something like that.
Yeah. And then, she tries basically killing herself so that, Thanos won't be able to get the Soul Stone.
And then, what do you know? Bubbles appear.
Yep. Like, and then, like that slow motion montage
with the music.
Yeah, that music. It's so sad. And then, like, when after it, like, shows her falling off and stuff, it shows back to Thanos. He looks like he can't believe what he just did. Like, he's, like, sad. You see tears rolling down his face.
Yeah, it's like, dang. Thanos is crying.
Because you think of Thanos as this heartless monster, but then you realize, like, he does love Gamora.
He's very similar to Tony Stark in a lot of ways, too.
Yeah, he tries, like, showing himself as, like, a really kind of, like, emotionless person, I guess, who, like, doesn't really care about much things and stuff.
I will say, this scene had the weirdest, cut to another scene. Like, when he had the stone, it was like, he had the stone, and then it cuts closer to his face, but, like, in the weirdest transition. Yeah. It's kind of out of place here, but, like, I just thought that was a weird transition.
It was a bit kind of weird, I guess.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, though.
But this scene might not stay too emotional for a while, because...
Yeah, it's probably, it's gonna be undone, probably.
A lot of people think that Gamora is gonna come back, like, she's not really dead.
She's in the soul world.
Yeah, so, like, if that does happen, it won't be as sad, like, in the next movies. When you rewatch it, you won't be as sad because you'll be like, oh, she's fine this entire time.
Yeah.
Or, like, if she's brought back, you'll be like, oh, she's fine.
By the way, I'm sorry if our, like, audio sounds a little weird, like it's quieter at times and stuff. It's because we're crowded around this one microphone that's, like, pretty quiet. So, like, we have to cram around it, and if we move a little bit, it just, like, gets quiet. So I apologize for that. But, let's go to my top 5 list with 2 honorable mentions. So, my honorable mentions for the movie is the lowest one is the MCU logo. Now, MCU logo is known for the triumphant, like, Marvel song or whatever. Or, like, Ant-Man had that Hispanic song, and then Avengers Age of Ultron had, like, a confident Avengers song. That's the only ones that I can remember that are different. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the Spider-Man theme.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm in the theater, and I see it, I'm like, let's go. And I'm like, wait, no, someone, turn on the audio. I have to watch this right. And then I hear, like, this,
like, the music that's, like, really sad and, like, eerie and stuff like that.
Yeah, the opening scene music, and I'm like, shoot, Avengers are screwed. Thanos, please don't kill everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that really started off, and I'm gonna include it with the Asgardian ship because it's technically like the same scene,
Yeah, I guess
because it
so.
shows Thanos like murdering 2 people, and it's like this Thanos guy is not messing around,
Yeah.
and that's an emotional scene because like, well, I'm scared, confused, why, and sad because it's Loki. I mean Heimdall, you feel a little bad, but it's like the
You
Thor,
don't know him as well.
the Thor trilogy didn't give him enough justice
Yeah.
for his death. Like, same with the Asgardian people, because the
Yeah.
Thor trilogy, you weren't really connected to them like some other movies. Like, you're just like, I mean, half of them survive, so.
Yeah.
So my second honorable mention is Gamora talking to Quill in the Milano, I think, to kill her, and then she's like, swear it on your mother, and then Quill's like, knows that it's true, and they both look sad. And I know the tension is broken up a little bit by Drax, like, I'm invisible, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I don't like stuff like that change up the tension like that, like in this is a little off topic, but X-Men Apocalypse, like Charles was like having a really emotional moment, and then all of a sudden Nightcrawler just wakes up and he's like, wait, what did I miss? It's like, you didn't have to do that, but this was all right. I enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Just don't have too many of those moments because I really want the characters to feel like emotional in the moment. Drax just like comedic relief, so you realize like this isn't a depressing movie. It's like, I've been standing here for an hour.
Yeah, basically.
So, my number 5 pick for most emotional. No, we're not gonna insert a dramatic thing. I don't feel like editing that. But my number 5 is Tony Stark getting stabbed.
Okay.
And normally you're like, okay, Tony Stark, the face of the MCU, getting stabbed. Why is this not number 1? Because it wasn't. He instantly was alright. Like, if it was a little bit drawn out, a little longer, I would have put this a little bit higher up, but because it wasn't, I mean, it was still, like, very emotional. All of these scenes were very emotional, but what?
So, are you saying, like, the entire, like, fight between only those two, or, like, just the stabbing scene?
I'd say between those two, because he made Thanos bleed, and it's like, oh my goodness, Stark's got a chance, even though you're like, no, he doesn't have a chance.
In the back of your mind, you're like, maybe he does have a bit of a chance, but...
Yeah. So moving on to number 4 is Porch. I don't know if you know that. It's just a song for that scene. It's at the end after Thanos snapped. He's just on his porch.
Yeah,
that's what it's called, on his farm. And he's just looking there. He's so sad because I'm gonna kind of include it with his vision of Gamora when it was like everything, because I don't know. I don't know why. Just don't question it. But because it's like he really did lose everything. He lost his home. I mean, he technically lost his children, the Black Order, which aren't actually his children, but like maybe he got to like them.
He does still kind of. He does still have Nebula though. So
yeah, he hates Nebula though, because he's like, she's like, why didn't you kill me? He's like, would have been a waste of parts. Like, dang, that's cruel.
I know, like.
But it's like he lost everything that he loved, especially Gamora, his home, like. Half of his body is like charred and everything.
Yeah.
And he's just like on this random planet, just like, what do I get for breakfast?
And after that scene ended and like it moved straight to like the credits and stuff, I heard some kids and people in the audience being like, "What? That's it?"
I'm gonna connect this to the credits as well. I'm very impressed that they went this way with the credits instead of putting all those like cool MCU credits like with like those cool animations like Ant-Man and the Wasp had those minifigures. Avengers: Age of Ultron had like a small like version you could put on your table and it was just zooming around this stuff. This was just like black screen with white credits, sad Avengers music, and at the end it plays that sad Avengers piano music, and then Avengers Infinity War goes to dust. I mean, that was just brilliantly done, Marvel. Brilliantly done. I honestly hope Avengers 4 is like that, because even if they do win, it's like, well, you lost Captain America. I'm sorry. Captain America is probably dying. I don't want him to, but he's probably dying, unfortunately. I could see Iron Man surviving. there's a rumor there's only 2 Avengers that are gonna survive. I think it'll be Thor and Hulk. We'll do a video on that someday, probably. As you can tell, we're in like Avengers mode right now. We're not always like this, but like we're locked in because the digital release just came out. So it's like, what else do we talk about?
Yeah.
So we're down to the top 3. You probably know they're all death scenes, so that gave it away. Number trace is Gamora's death. Now, I don't think it wasn't the saddest death scene for me. I just don't feel like it had the same amount of sadness as the next 2. It was definitely sad with the music like super loud and stuff. Thanos was like crying like, I lost everything. And then, so when I saw that in the theater the first time, I saw Gamora. She's laying on the ground. I'm like, wait, she's not dead. If she was dead, she would have been splattered. Like, maybe that was part of it. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then I see Thanos like laying down. And I'm like, wait, Thanos, what do you have there? He's like, Soul Stone. I'm like,
yeah.
You freaking killed Gamora.
No, I knew Gamora was dead from the beginning, or like not dead, like at least like maybe she was in the soul world now, but like she was dead in the real world.
That's gonna be on Cinema Sins. Like, why didn't she splatter? But whatever. It just didn't have the same amount of impact it did, obviously, on him. But I mean, it still was a very sad moment. It was definitely up there for sad, like one of the saddest moments in the MCU. That's another video coming out, by the way. I don't know when, but it will come out. Okay.
Okay.
Down to the next 2. It's pretty obvious which ones these are. Number 2, we've got Spider-Man's death. It's very sad. It's very good. It's very well written. Well, it wasn't written because it was improvised. That's incredible. You know, you want to know something else? I heard, Spider-Man's Spidey sense, that was apparently like actually done. Like someone blew in his ear or something. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, this is getting a bit off topic. Like
I tried doing that.
Like in the bus scene when he first sees the
Yeah, you'll see it on you saw it on the screen right now.
Yeah.
But like that is a very cool effect. But anyways, that's not the sad part. The sad part is like
when he's like dying.
Yeah. But the sad part was that he was so young and everything, and he was like, I don't want to go, Mr. Stark. Please, I don't feel so good.
So.
It's like, no.
Yeah, like, you don't think they're gonna kill off Spider-Man, like a fan favorite, especially since he is scheduled to have a sequel.
Yeah, so that makes it's not dead, but still a sad moment. And then he's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's saying sorry because a lot of people think that he's saying sorry because in Spider-Man Homecoming, Tony Stark said like,
I want you to be better than me.
Yeah, I don't want you to die because I can't have that on my conscience. So then basically in his last words, Peter Parker is saying like sorry that he had to make Tony Stark feel bad for dying.
Yeah, and so he was alive, like not dying faster than the others because his spider sense and his like fast healing and stuff, he realized it was coming. That made it extra sad. You're reading like article about that and you're like, oh, you don't have to tell me this.
For him, like, it might have actually been painful, even like though for the other people it probably wasn't, because like he knew it was coming, so it's probably more painful for him. Yeah.
So let's move on to number 1 saddest scene. Get all in a depressing mood. I know. It's the number 1 saddest moment in Infinity War. So the saddest moment in Infinity War is Vision's death. Yes, it is Vision's death because the music worked. The sadness between Vision and Scarlet Witch, they have a romance, and it's like, you have to kill me. No one else can. She's like, why?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this.
And then it shows like the gem actually being shattered.
Yeah, she's like super sad. Vision's like, you can never hurt me. It's like, you're making it worse, man.
Yeah.
And it's like why?
Like, saying you could never hurt me, like saying I love you right before they die, like
and
that's just like
Shuri was working on getting the stone out and everything.
Yeah, like,
they're like, we can do this, and it's like,
like maybe
no.
having a chance of having Vision survive,
no, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Like it's like the whole movie they're battling before, like, side by side, like, not side by side, but they're like arguing like, we should destroy it now, this is the only chance we have against Thanos, and the other half's like, no, we can't, we do not trade lives, we don't trade lives, Captain. And it's just so sad of a scene, but that is my top 5 saddest, not just saddest, but emotional moments in Infinity War, with honorable mentions, and that is his same as well.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the video. This video actually is
Like,
being
really
recorded
long.
longer than I expected, about these Infinity War discussion length, or Avengers 4 discussion length. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like down below, and if you like this kind of stuff, really make sure to subscribe, because we're going to be doing stuff like this in the future. And yeah, without that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.